Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel as Mike's Talks and Thoughts here, back again today with another video for you guys. And today we have the Mayans MC Season 4 review here. You know, I've been doing the weekly episode ratings and reviews here each and every week, but now here we're on to the full season review. I'm going to be giving the positives and the negatives of this season here. You know, just sharing my thoughts here. I would really like to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. So definitely comment below your thoughts on this season here, what you liked, what you disliked, what you thought they did perfectly, what you think they can improve on. Anything like that is greatly appreciated. But before we go full on in depth here, again, just want to announce for any new viewers here on the channel, we're doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. I know you guys are probably sick of hearing that by now, but we're so close to the milestone here. Just for anyone who's new, who wants to be entered into the giveaway, we are super close here to the 1,000 subscriber milestone. So if you want to be entered, show support on the channel, be greatly appreciated here. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Mayans MC Season 4 review. So first here, let's start off with the positives for the season, or things that I really liked about this season, or things that I think that they did well this season. So the first thing that I want to point out here is episode number 1, episode 8, and episode 10. I think these were the 3 strongest Mayans episodes this season. I gave the first and 8 episode 9 out of 10, and the last episode 9.5 out of 10. I really think these were the best episodes, either with the most action or big events that happened. And I think they did a really good job here with these episodes. You know, can't go wrong with action in Mayans here. You know, that's what the show is basically formed around. You want big action sequences and scenes like that. So I think that they did a really good job with those 3 episodes. You know, easily feeling like the strongest, actually, like, big events happened in those episodes. It wasn't, you know, filler content or something that was building. You know, they actually like did something really big for the show here, and easily the most entertaining and enjoyable episodes from this season here. Another thing that I really liked about this season was the Santo Padre charter here. You know, throughout the seasons they can be hit or miss here, but I really liked how they stuck together a lot through this season. You know, at the very start of the season, we really get to see the Mayan Civil War here, with, you know, the clubs going up against each other, and the charters, I should say, going up against each other and butting heads. But Santo Padre, pretty much through and through, they really stuck together. And I think it was really good, you know, building this bond between these characters that we've known since season 1 here. It was really great to see. I really liked how they built this charter up a little bit stronger than in previous seasons here, you know, with all of the, you know, main members that we've seen from season 1 growing more throughout the season here. Another positive here for this season is Miguel's rise back to power here. While I wasn't too crazy about his story with his aunt and, you know, the whole situation with the LNG at the start, it eventually rose into something great. I think that they did a really good job with building Miguel with his new partner here, or El Banquero's sister here. I think that they did a really good job with that. I was really hoping that Miguel would rise back to power this season, that they wouldn't keep pushing this off, and they actually did it. So I think that they did a really good job here with that. Speaking of Miguel here, one thing I also really liked about this season was the one-on-one conversations. My ultimate favorite being the one between Miguel and Felipe here. But I think that Angel and Adelita, Angel and Easy and Felipe, all of these one-on-one conversations were done really well this season. I really liked them. You know, either showing a lot of emotion or feeling, or, you know, being able to connect with these characters more on a deeper level. I think that they just did a really good job with that. You know, the dialogue could be hit or miss at some points, but for the most part, I really did enjoy the one-on-one conversations that we were able to get between a lot of the main characters this season, and one of the strongest aspects of this season here. Another positive here for the season is the Easter eggs and cameos here. I think they did a really great job, you know, bringing people back. Tig, of course, being the biggest here. You know, they had done this in previous seasons with bringing back, you know, Chibs and Happy and Quinn, all of the original members from Charming here, which was great to see. But we had never seen Tig up until this point in Mayans here, so I think that they did a really great job bringing Tig back. I loved both of Tig's scenes that he was in with both Terry And with Alvarez here, I think that was great. And also bringing in a name like CM Punk was awesome as well. I'm a huge wrestling fan, so it was great seeing him on screen. I liked how they tie Packer's son now into this story. We saw him in season 3 here. They just did a really great job of bringing back old faces and making these cameos feel important, and connecting with the story here is really great. Hopefully we get to see more of them moving forward here into the future. I think it'd be great seeing taking like a season 5 or CM Punk coming back, because him and Gilly are kind of on edge here all season. So I think it'd be great to see, and I really believe Packer's son is going to have a huge role in season 5 here with what happened at the end of season 4 here. Next here for the positives, I really want to give a shout out here to Marcus Alvarez here, El Batrino. He was just absolutely amazing this season. Emilio Rivera does such a great job as Marcus, man. Alvarez has always been one of my favorites from the OG SOA days and now with the Mayans. I love his performance. He does always a great job on screen. He really gets feisty and mad. This is my club. I just love those scenes with Alvarez, and he can be really deep and have a lot of great conversations with all of the other members, whether that be with Mayans or the SOA. He's really great at being a talker here. His confrontation with Miguel was amazing. He stands his ground, and he's a family man. And you get this really big question at the end of the season: what's going to happen with Marcus moving forward here? So really gets me intrigued, and I really hope to see Emilio Rivera, doing his thing as Marcus Alvarez next season. Another positive here for the season is the downfall of El Banquero here. No one ever liked El Banquero in this series here. And, when Miguel lost his power at the end of season 3, and El Banquero takes over, we were like, man, we have to see the downfall of El Banquero this season and Miguel rising back, and that's exactly what they did here. They delivered it pretty well here. I really liked his death scene, like I said, with the pool. I think that was a really good shot there of him. Did it really well. I like how the sister kind of crosses him, or pretty much they cross each other, because he's been such a douche to her all season long, and she's just trying to get her rightful place back for the family here. So I really like that a lot with the downfall of El Banquero here. Another thing that I think is a positive for the season, this could be a positive or negative depending on how you're looking at it, but killing off of a main character here. Coco's death was, very impactful, and a lot of big events happened because of Coco here. And I know we always want these people to survive because you just connect with these characters so much, but you need some death to make stuff important. You need death to make stuff that's impactful here. I think that's what they did here with Coco. I really thought that Bishop was going to be off this season, or Taza possibly. I really kind of wish they would have done something like that and even brought the club together stronger here. But we'll have to see. I think they will go out all out for season 5 because they're all in war now, full on out war. So there's definitely gonna be more deaths moving forward here, which I'm kind of excited about. I don't want to see these characters die, but I like seeing the deaths because of the impactful moments it brings. Killing off the right person at the right time after their story has been fully told is just really great, and I think it really makes for great storytelling and more things to do in the plot here, which I really enjoyed this season with how they kind of coped with Coco's death. There was a little bit of negatives that came with that, which I will be talking about in the negatives, but for the most part, I really liked it. Another thing that I really liked this season was learning more about the Mayans' history here. We get to see the talk between Alvarez and Easy about the book and talking about the past. I think that was really great. I always want to know more about the past in this universe. I've been saying for years I want a First 9 prequel series here from SOA. Now learning more about the Mayans. It was really great to see here. I really like that a lot. Learning about the past and seeing how it connects now with the future. Another thing that I really liked from this season was seeing the club's family life here. I know a lot of people may not like seeing the family life outside of the club, but I really think it's intriguing. Seeing about more Marcus and Easy and Angel, Coco, and all of them, seeing their life outside of the club here. I think they had a lot of good scenes here, especially with Marcus. I really like the scenes, with Marcus and his kids. It's really great, and something I wouldn't mind seeing more of this season. So the last positive here for this season, this one's going to go in the positive and the negative because I have to see what they're going to do with this moving forward, and that's going to be Easy's darkness as a character. So both in the positive and negative here. Easy is just, going full on out with his, darkness and, becoming, like I said, a season 7 Jax, as I kind of compared him to earlier, just, going through anyone that stands in his way. And I really want to see this side of Easy. Easy's really becoming a lot more unlikable in the season. And one of my friends is really voicing that to me all the time, that he's just not a big fan of Easy this season. And I totally get where he's coming from with that, because Easy's just done so much crap this season, with the whole Gabby situation and the Felipe situation. And now with Sophia, he's really getting into a lot of deep shit here, and it's just crazy to see what's going on with Easy. And I want to see where this dark part of Easy is going to take him moving forward. Now he's president. Like I said, this was something that was pretty predictable, that a lot of people figured that he'd go from prospect to president. A lot of people I was reading in my comments on my last video weren't too happy with the decision. I understand it, because I knew it was eventually going to come anyways, that Easy was eventually going to become president. So, now is a better time than ever. But yeah, I just want to see how Easy is as a full-on out leader, because, Easy's been making a lot of club decisions here, but now being the head of the table, how will this impact him moving forward? But now here, we are going to get into the negatives from this season here. And there is a decent amount of negatives here from this season that I definitely want to talk about with you guys. In my reviews, I try and talk about the good and, try and be happy and, try and shed light on the positives from that episode, not go too crazy into the negatives, because, I really do think that the positives do outshine the negatives in the show, but there are some negatives in this that I definitely need to talk about here in the review, and kind of like what to look out for, and kind of rant a little bit on some stuff that they could have improved upon for this season. The first thing here is going to be Emily's storyline here. Emily is really kind of just becoming filler in this show. I kind of mention each week how I kind of find her story a little bit interesting and want to know what's going on. I did, but they really didn't take her story really anywhere this season. Basically, she's just in hiding all season. You get the death of her sister, and then she freaks out, and that's pretty much it. That's literally all Emily does all season. It was like you could have taken all her scenes out, and the show wouldn't have changed anything. They could build upon so much more with her character and make her stronger. I know a lot of people do not like her as a character. I don't mind her at her points. She can be really bad, and other points she can be all right. I definitely feel like, they should have just killed her off if they're just going to do nothing with her character at this point. Like I said, either two things are going to happen. She'll go back with Miguel, or she'll go with Easy. That's a whole huge theme that people have been talking about, is that, Easy and Emily dated forever, and then she's with Miguel, and this is going to be her story with getting back with Easy and getting back in the club. And I'm not too crazy about that. I think Easy could do so much better than Emily. And I just am not big on her storyline this season. They definitely need to improve upon it next season here. Another thing that a lot of people have been commenting on my videos that I definitely agree with this season is the writing is just not as strong as it once was. I definitely feel like season 1 and season 2 had much better writing and much better, character stories here, or subplots, than what they're doing this season with the writing. The writing's kind of all over the place. They'll talk about one thing, and then they'll go to another thing next. It's just like, it's kind of all over the place. The story is kind of just all in a jumble. It's kind of just, it's not like a linear story. They're not kind of telling the events as they should. The writing is just not as good. I really think that's due to the loss of Kurt Sutter here. His writing on SOA was amazing. Elgin James is all right, but just the writers that they have now, it seems like they try and do callbacks to previous seasons here, and they just don't really match up that well. We don't get like any great really storytelling from stuff that's happened in the past here. I just think that the writing has just gotten worse throughout the show run. I think like it was at its strongest in season 1, and as it's going forward, it's kind of getting worse and worse. But I still don't think it's unbearable. Some people have completely said it's unbearable and unwatchable. I disagree with that take. I don't think the writing's that bad. There's definitely been shows I've seen that have a lot worse writing than this. But I just wish the writing would get back stronger to, Mayans season 1 or season 2 level, or even SOA level. That's kind of asking a little bit much, but even just getting it back to the previous season's level would be really good and really help the show, tell this story better. I get where they're trying to go with this story, but when everything is just kind of thrown in just throwing it in like a laundry basket instead of actually layering it and proving that you can tell a story with layers here, like a show like Breaking Bad does, or a Better Call Saul, or like a Sopranos, or any one of those really good classic dramas everyone likes. Just would like that a lot more from this show. Another negative here for this season is a little bit too much filler content here. Like I said, episode 1, episode 8, and episode 10 are really big, but for the most part, a lot of those other ones, season 5 is also, or not season 5, episode 5 is also pretty solid here. But other than that, like, it's a lot of filler content here. I get they're trying to build foundation, but some of the episodes were just going a little bit too slow. I rated those usually around 7.5, kind of those average episodes. Like, they're not bad or anything. They don't do anything that's outlandish or just really dumb, but it's just a lot of filler content that you kind of wish would, speed up its process a little. And, at least, and like I said with the writing, at least if you're going to tell this filler story and fill it with content, build it to something that's going to happen huge, or have huge payoff. I really think the finale did have some good payoff, but it could have been even better here. For Mayans here, though, I think it was good for the season, but just cut out a lot of the filler content, or make the filler content mean even more than it is. Another thing that I've kind of mentioned a little bit here is a little bit below average subplots for this season. Like I said, with Emily's storyline. And another thing that I'm going to mention here in the negatives that I'll just talk about with the subplot is the JJ storyline. I'm just not big on the whole JJ Easy storyline. It only happened for a few episodes here. Basically, JJ comes to Easy, says, "Hey, I'm out of prison. We'll keep in touch." Then he comes back to Easy and says, "Hey, I know your secret." And then he comes back again. "Hey, I know your secret. I'm going to tell the club unless you give me work." And then Easy basically says, "All right, either you shoot yourself or I'm going to shoot you." That's basically the entire JJ storyline. They couldn't have wrapped that up in like one episode. They had to drag it out through the entire season. I think that easily could have been wrapped up in like one episode, with just JJ, coming, seeing Easy, and then maybe a 2-episode arc, coming and seeing Easy, and then telling him he's going to blackmail him, and then Easy killing him off at the end of that episode. They could have done that easily. And the subplots, like I said, with Emily, Felipe didn't really have much to do this season either, which is sad because I love Edward James Olmos, and he didn't really have much to do this season other than just kind of mope around. Like I said, his conversation with Miguel, top tier. Other than that, not much to do this season. And just a lot of the characters kind of got pushed to the side here for this season here. And the last thing that I want to mention here for season 4 here is the realistic ability of episode number 1 here. This was something that I know a lot of people complained about. I kind of threw it to the side because I really did like episode 1. But the one thing that a lot of people would say is, they have this huge shootout at the compound and they were at it for hours and hours with all this gunfire and no police or anything ever shows up. Kind of unrealistic in that sense. I know TV shows have to be unrealistic at points because, there's just some points where they just can't tell a story logically without something getting in the way. But that just felt a little bit too far-fetched here for Mayans here. At least have the police show up and then them fleeing out. That would have been, I would have definitely taken that. But I really like the action, so I kind of brushed that to the side here. But that was a little bit negative for this season here. All right, here, so let's get into the rating here. On my How I Met Your Father review, I did the rating here a little bit different. But I'm not going to do that for this one, because I kind of realized when I did that, when I was recommending whether you should watch it or not, I was kind of giving away the entire spoilers for it. So why are you watching through the whole video just to see if you should watch it? You've already watched it already. So when I do other reviews, I will be going, more in depth on what I actually think like the actual rating should be, or kind of what I thought it was. I've been doing that for the episodes here. And for this, I'm going to give Mayans M.C. Season 4 an 8 out of 10 here. I think this was a solid season of Mayans. I'd give like the first 2 seasons like an 8.5, and Season 3 like either a 7.5 or an 8. I think that Season 4 and Season 3 are kind of on the same level here of quality. I definitely feel like it's a good season, but it's not something that's going to blow you away. It's not like a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 season. Like, those seasons are just absolutely incredible. It's not going to fill your expectations like that. But if you're looking for a good season of TV that, follows in the SOA universe, this is definitely one that I think that is held up here. We'll have to see how it kind of transitions into Season 5 here, and see if Season 5, what they can do differently than Season 4 to make improvements. But with that, I think Mayans is definitely still worth watching here. I know a lot of people, have already dropped off on the series, but personally for me, I'm going to stick with it. I still have my fun with it. I still enjoy it. I still have those great episodes that actually, really gets me pumped up to keep talking more Mayans with you guys. So yeah, that's going to do it here for the Season 4 Mayans review. We finally made it here. I'm going to be dropping a characters tier list here coming up in the next couple weeks here. Not sure exactly when it's going to be, but it will be coming very soon with 2 special guests here on the channel here. And also, like I mentioned in my Season 4 Episode 10 review, I will be dropping a new series here on July 1st. It's actually not a weekly series. I know there was some speculation with you guys about that. It's not something I'm going to be doing as a weekly, just one show, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I do the announcement video on July 1st here. It's going to be like a new series or a new playlist here on the channel. So yeah, with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this Mayans MC Season 4 review, the good and the bad and the ugly. So yeah, without further ado, take care and peace out.